Yeah, I said I might do a Melty Blood yapping video today, and I know what you're thinking. Melty Blood? This guy's not playing Melty Blood, so how is he gonna not yap about Melty Blood? Well, remember what I said about like the first Melty Blood yapping video where I can just treat it as a podcast, and I can just do random stuff on here while I talk about Melty Blood. Yeah, well, that's what I'm doing right now. I'm gonna be playing Granblue Fantasy, trying to get some Fa Zero mats while talking about Melty Blood. However, I'm not really going to be talking about Melty Blood the game. I'm more so going to be talking about Melty Blood the community. I already have a I already think I have a title for this. It's going to be what like uh my my thoughts on LFGNA or something, and I already know that it's going to be screenshotted out of context like a trillion times in the Discord, and it's going to be used to complain about me already, but I need to get this off my chest. I feel like it's probably not healthy for me to just keep on like brewing on these thoughts, so I decided to just make a yapping video in order to talk about it. So I have the notepad again. It's gonna be mostly not there. I got removed. They probably don't need a fire player. It's gonna be pretty. It's there. I'm looking at it. I'm gonna try to use it to structure this video. Although I'm gonna try to not be too carried away by my Fa Zero runs, because I tried to do this once and I messed up already because I guess I kept getting distracted by trying to do Fa Zero and messing up triggers and stuff like that. So I'm probably not going to be talking much about the game, hopefully, ideally. But if I do, my bad. Anyway, last warning, I'm just going to be playing Granblue Fantasy for most of this yapping video. This yapping video is probably going to be like, I don't know, probably 20-30 minutes. Not very long. I think the script is longer than my entire video, but that video had me take like actual, clips of and make dummies and stuff. This is going to be just me talking through this notepad really quickly. And by quickly, I mean for a while. So what is my issue with LFGNA to begin with? So first things first, before we even deal with that, what is LFGNA? If you don't know what LFGNA is, I'm actually kind of surprised you even found this channel, frankly. I believe I got most of my subscribers from like Yokai Watch Puny and like Melty Blood. So if you are subscribed to me in like the last year and you are watching this video, I assume you know what Melty Blood LFGNA is. But just in case you don't, I think this is the one that kicked me, isn't it? No. In case you don't, Melty Blood LFGNA is pretty much the general chat for Melty Blood discussion. And I know what you might be thinking. Doesn't LFG stand for looking for games? So wouldn't it be the matchmaking chat for Melty Blood? Well, because the Melty Blood Discord server is just very old and kind of mismanaged, the actual general chat was completely unusable and filled with people who just did not play Melty Blood whatsoever. So what happened is that the people who actually did play the game would play and talk in the LFGNA chat because, well, people who don't play the game aren't going to be in the looking for games chat, right? So it just made the most amount of sense that if, in order to avoid people who didn't play the game, that you simply just talk in LFGNA. And because of the way Melty Blood matchmaking works with IPs and stuff, you just post your chat, your IP in the LFGNA chat. The bot picks it up, and now people can just talk in there unimpeded by your IP, and people can still see your IP through the modern wonders of technology. Your IP can be grabbed, and people can look for it, while people also talk about stuff that contains some Melty sometimes. So now that I've explained what LFGNA is, what is my issues with it? First things first, I do have to clarify this before someone takes this out of hand or out of context. Damn. They see my rank 259 and they're just kicking me out. Normally it's not that bad, but I guess there's enough fire players on this morning that they're not interested, which sucks. What is my issue with LFGNA? Like I was saying before I got interrupted by getting kicked by the room, that these are mostly my problems with LFGNA. They're not like a systemic issue. They're not something that need to be fixed. These are just my experiences and thoughts on LFGNA as a whole. So I just don't vibe with like it's to me it's like a combination of issues that like continues like they like very minorly tick me off and then they come together at a head and then they really tick me off. So the first things first is I just don't vibe with Q posting. Sorry for hitting the mic for a second. If you don't know what cute posting is, you're luckily not as terminal online as I am. But it's when people just post like pictures of like cute girls doing cute things, cute characters doing cute things, or just like pictures of anime girls, and like they're not always scantily clad. Most of the time they're fully dressed, because the mock team does actually do their job when it comes to removing NSFW work in the chat. But it's like, cute anime girls and dresses and stuff. I don't like. To me, it's not like I dislike that stuff. I am, I am straight. I do like women, but it's just I don't come to LFGNA to talk about that sort of stuff. In fact, that sentiment of I don't come to LFGNA to talk about X is probably like my main issue with LFGNA in general right now. Because if we go to my next point, sometimes the cute posting kind of becomes weird, and it becomes more horny posting than cute posting. It doesn't happen all the time, by the way. This is like not like a super common thing. And if you've never been LFGNA, you probably won't mind it as much as I do, because like, again, it's one of those things where it's like I like the artwork, but I'm like, why is it in here? Why is it in this chat? I kind of didn't really want to look at this sort of stuff right now in this chat. Again, extremely minor gripe that adds up over time and has led to the creation of this video. Next gripe, it's less of a gripe and more of an observation. A lot of the convos that happen in there, because our community is filled to the brim with wonderful people from the LGBTQ community, they're like focused on those sort of experiences. And how do I put this? I don't mind reading them, but it feels weird to like, I'm talking about Melty Blood with someone, or I'm trying to talk Melty, and someone's like talking about their like personal, their gripes with being, not their gripes. What am I trying to say here? That's like, I'm trying to be clear that I'm not trying to be transphobic. I'm not trying to be, homophobic when I'm saying this. It's just that, again, it's like, I really do care about most of y'all, and I really don't mind most of you personal posting in there most of the time. It's just that it happens like very frequently. Like, I'm trying to not be like super rude and super like homophobic or anything, because I'm just trying to say that okay, I think I can say it like this. I'm glad to be able to read your experiences, but it feels weird to have to be reading them and not being able to like contribute like at all or whatever. And it's just like, man, like, especially when it gets like more sexual in that chat, and I'm like, bro, what's happening in here? Like, it's not like a completely bad thing. It's just something that I don't vibe with personally. Then here's like the main point. Like, the last 3 points kind of coalesce into this point, in that no one talks about Melty Blood in that chat. And I know I get memed on for saying that. Like, while Alma's in the chat saying that nobody's talking about Melty Blood in LGNA. We gotta look at this loser who's being unfunny. But like, bro, it is the Melty Blood chat. Like, most people who play Melty Blood are in there. So it's kind of crazy to me that in the Melty Blood Horde, you just can't find Melty Blood discussion in LFGNA most of the time. You have to go into serious discussion. And I mentioned this in my last yapping video, that I legit made a whole chord for Melty Blood discussion, because I was getting so sick and tired of looking for like more nuanced discussion that wasn't like raw numbers, or raw could X character do X fuzzy or something like that. And it was like, man, I just want like a place to like have all this Melty Blood discussion. So if I come back from work, I want to play Melty, I want to talk Melty, I can just go into a chord, do that, and then just, it'll always be there, and there'll be nothing off topic. That's like the 98% of the reason I created the chord. So because I created that chord, this issue of no one talking about Melty Blood has become way less important to me. Like, this is still a gripe I have with LFGNA, but it's like, it's not as important anymore, because now I do have a place where I can just see people talk about Melty Blood, and the chord seems to be going, it's running relatively smoothly, I think. I still need to set up like roles for like different regions, but till then, I think it's okay. But however, the thing that like irks me more than like the times people don't talk about Melty Blood is when people do talk about Melty Blood and they are relatively defeatist or they're not willing to like improve themselves in Melty Blood. So what do I mean by this? I think I said this in like 3 yapping videos ago, like in my very first yapping video about H-Kkohaku. I said something about how people are like not really interested in putting in the effort in order to improve at Melty Blood because lol, it's a game, lol, it's a fighting game that barely anybody plays, lol, it's a fighting game based on a hentai game or whatever. And then they kind of let this attitude, it's like, it's not said like that in the court. No one's going to say that, of course. I'm being like, what's it called? I'm exaggerating it for comedic effect, sort of. But you can really feel that some people just do not like taking responsibility for their losses sometimes. And that kind of leads me to my next point about LFGNA. Because I am the only player of H-Kkohaku in LFGNA, anytime I search up, or name search, I guess, H-Kkohaku, I'm being called all sorts of stuff because of my character, and it's kind of lame. People will often say that they're losing to my character or whatever, and to me, this is like kind of crazy. Wait, that's not skill sealed, right? Yeah, okay. To me, that's kind of crazy because, like, first things first, they're literally like, people will often say stuff like, I only lost because the character was rare, or you hit me with something I don't understand, or something along those lines. And it like ticks me off to like high heaven, because first things first, there's like 9 Kohakus in this game, if you haven't noticed. My character doesn't have like a special Kohaku normal or a special property on one of her Kohaku normals that's like weird compared to the other characters. She legit has some regular Kohaku normals, right? And like her pressure, her block string offense isn't like stupidly strong or anything either. It's like basic strike throw. It is legit just basic ass strike throw. Like the throw is really good, mind you, and the strike is also ridiculous. However, again, there's like 20 different other characters who are also high tier or better, who also run basic strike throw in that manner in this game. So I feel like the complaining about my character, it gets really disingenuous really fast because of that fact. And it very much ticks me off. I know it shouldn't tick me off really, but it's just something that really grinds my gears when it comes to talking about Melty Blood. I should really move Zeta into the 4th spot because I'm so sick and tired of that girl. She's not she's not pressing the Ogi button I need her to, and I need to clear Apple first turn. So I think I had more complaints about my character being talked about in LFGNA. What were the other ones? Okay, first things first, my character is H-Moon. Wow, I didn't get the chain. My character is H-Moon, so that means like every single H-Moon in the game, she is pretty bad when she's blocked into the corner and forced to block. Most characters can do that relatively consistently. So I don't really get the whole relatively frequent complaints about my character mashing on people's pressure. Like first things first, Kohaku's normals aren't that big. And I know I said I was going to talk about Melty as much as normal, but when people are complaining about my character, I get really into it, and I find that they're complaining about, to me, what I deem to be the wrong stuff. I know, lame, but just getting it out there real quick. When I mash or 2A mash your pressure, I promise you the fact that it's a 4-frame button is usually not what's coming into play, more so than the fact that oh shoot. Oh, that's bad. That's like hella bad. Okay. Back to this. I'll just end. If I'm mashing your pressure, it's usually that I just have a read, and even if I had a 5-frame button, it wouldn't be making that much of a difference in regards to me mashing it. Another thing that really ticks me off is that people like pretend that my character's like weirdly complex or something when I post counterplay to everything that I ever do in any match, either on YouTube or in the Discord. So like I sort of get it. Like it's hard to like keep track of all 90 something characters in this game, But like when you can ask me and I'll DM you so much stuff about my character, it feels really disingenuous when people are like when people post in the chat and they're like, please be around me. Yeah, let's go. Noah's carrying. It feels really disingenuous when people are like, dang, your character is hitting me with X cheap thing. And it usually won't even be something that's super cheap anyway. Because like I said earlier, my character is mostly strike throw with an unblockable. Like the unblockable is like the cheapest thing she has, frankly. And like I'm not gonna pretend that that unblockable is not cheap or whatever. But uh people usually aren't talking about the unblockable and they're complaining about my character. So that's like part of the reason that I get so mad. Is this red or which one is this? That is not the right one. Shoot. I can't cancel this. Well, someone's dying probably. Or use an apple to clear. Oh, the very last thing I was about to say before I forget. Uh, I won't. I'm not gonna like pretend and sit here and be like, oh, H-Kkohaku's not that good or whatever. She's high tier in Melty Blood. That's very, very strong considering the characters that can be in this game. But she's not the reason people lose to me. At least normally, because I'm not like super consistent at the set play part of my character yet. I still F that up relatively frequently, so I know for a fact that when people are losing to me, they are usually losing to like me beating them in neutral or some key part of offense or something. And it's less my character cheaping them out or like knowledge checking them compared to me just raw knowledge checking them or whatever. Shoot, that's 7 trumpets already. Shoot. How long is this? Okay, whew, we're safe. I can just guard this. Okay, what's the next thing on the docket? Right. Here is probably the more juicier part of this. It's been almost a year and my name still gets dragged through the mud in that court sometimes. And it really it drives me nuts when I get called stuff like hyper toxic or whatever. When I mostly like I don't even chat in LFGNA that much anymore. Because like I realize that I'm not like in the mood to talk about the stuff that's happening in the community as it is right now. So I'm like I just don't chat in there super often. Oh shoot. I don't have Noah 1-up. That's not good. And yep, charge attack 5 times. I'm screwed, I think. Yep, screwed Deroni. And I use my thing to prep it for something else. Well, I just have to kill in here and take the L. Okay, sorry about the Grand Blue Fantasy taking my attention for a second. But if you don't know, about like a year ago, I was like relatively toxic on LFGNA about like my own play, about other people's play, about etc. 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 And I was like in the like toxic grind set, I guess you could call it. Please don't call if it changed with Lucy here, I'm gonna be mad. So I was in the toxic grind set, right? So I would be like really onto people for not improving and stuff like that. Shoot, someone died. Hey, it wasn't me. I was about to clear mine. I'll clear all 6 to prove I was gonna clear all my stuff anyway. Anyway, I to the people who I've offended during that part of my melty blood career or whatever, bro, this nigga got a yellow apple. Ugh, that's so annoying. She has a yellow apple too. That's why I've been getting honors during this part of the fight. That's like super annoying. I think I have to one here and just try to maybe I kill. Maybe I can kill Zeta. I don't know. Anyway, to the people who I pissed off like a year and a half ago when talking about Melty Blood because I was just being a jackass about it, I'm very sorry. I do owe you guys an apology for the way I was, talking in LSGA at that point. However, again, it's been like the better half of a year since then, I don't really act like that anymore in the court. So it's, do I have to risk it? I think I have to risk it for the biscuit. Yeah, I just have to risk it. So I'm sorry to the people I offended while chat talking like that in the court. But like, man, I keep getting interactions in that chord in LGNA that really, really grind my gears because like someone will ask me for advice, I'll apply with advice or I'll be truthful or whatever. And then people will be like super weird about me giving someone advice. And it's like they'll call me like toxic or I'll say something as like post set banter. I'll be like lol nice burst, lol nice heat or whatever, and like I don't mean it as like to be a complete like jackass or whatever. And I think that might be like a, yeah, that I can't clear this. I have to, yeah. Well, this run's dead. I think yeah, this run's dead anyway. I'll just take it as practice. I legit can't clear this. Amioji, save me. So oh, I have the stupid thing. Yeah. What was I talking about? Right. What was I saying? Right. So when people like will ask me for advice and then they turn around and talk shit about me when I'm not in this court or whatever, I get mad about that because like, bro, I don't like talk. I'm not in. I'm in all the multi cores, but I don't talk in like any of them outside of like DMs. And I don't like DM bad stuff about people like that I wouldn't say to their face. So when people do that about me and then they're like, and then they get defensive or stuff, I guess I should not be like super unspecific and I should just say that interaction I had with Chase yesterday, I didn't really know I was on the like bad side or whatever until they said that in LFGNA. I was like, wow, really? That's how you is that really how you're gonna talk to me when you think I'm not there or whatever, and you're gonna be like super indignant about it? Like, man. And then you ask me for games right afterwards as if you're not being like a complete jackass right now, and it's like, wow.